Hi, everyone. My name is Coach Brittany. I'm with College Coaches Connections, and I have a special guest today, as you can see. But before we get to our guest, I'll give you a quick rundown about a little bit about what we do here at College Coaches Connections. We are a group of current and former college players and athletes who evaluate high school athletes who want to play at the next level. And we help mentor them through that recruiting process, kind of hold their hand through it all. And at the end of it, we, get them off to a school. That's the end goal, is to find them a college that best suits them and their wants and their needs and everything in between. So with that being said, that's like the super quick rundown, right, Sammy? But we do a lot more than just that. But Sammy, I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what school you go to, and what sport you play.
Hi, I'm Sammy. I'm from Camas, Washington, and I go to Camas High School, and I play basketball.
Play basketball. So, give us a little bit background. So I, first of all, know nothing about you other than I have your recruiting profile up here. So that's kind of all that I know of you. So tell us a little bit more, or tell me a little bit more about basketball and your life in general. How long have you been playing? Anything you're willing to talk about, or let us into your little life a little bit.
I've been playing basketball since I was in third grade. So it's like my 10th or 11th year playing. And I've played with the Camas program since I was in sixth grade. And I actually didn't play club ball in high school until the summer before my senior year. So
Okay.
no AAU until then, just high school basketball.
So then you're born and raised in Camas, then it sounds like.
Yeah, I lived in the same house my entire life. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So Camas, so I'm a Washington girl myself, but I'm from the east side. So Camas, you're kind of like southwest border of Washington, right?
Yeah, right across the river from Portland, Oregon.
Okay. And Camas is a big 4A?
Yes.
4A. Okay. So tell me, you didn't play club ball until you said right before your senior year. So then tell me a little bit about why or how or that came to be. Like, was it, was it for the purpose of going and playing college ball, or how did that work out?
Yeah, the AAU was definitely
Mhm.
for the purposes of like gathering more film to get
Mhm.
myself out there for colleges. And before that, we just didn't really see the need to spend thousands of dollars
Right.
to go get recruited if I can get film playing high school basketball. So
Right. And then remind me, your senior year, so your COVID year, quote unquote, would have been your junior year,
yeah,
which would have made it super hard too.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And there was
Because
not much competition and stuff. So definitely getting
right.
that film during that summer was really critical.
Important. Yeah. So then tell me at what point, whether it was a conversation you had with your parents or maybe a coach or something like that, at what point were you like, I think I want to play college ball?
I've wanted to play college ball since probably fifth or sixth grade.
Okay.
I always knew I wanted to play at the next level. I didn't necessarily think I wanted to play professionally, but I knew that I wanted to continue like my competitive career for as long as I could and just
Yeah.
kind of have fun with it, like while I can, instead of just playing in rec leagues, like, you know, and the
Right.
possibility of having like a college championship or even just getting in the tournaments or whatever. Like I thought that would be really cool and really fun experience. And also
Mhm.
just a way to like have another community while I'm at college. So
Right.
I've always wanted to. And so yeah, it's a dream
That's
coming
awesome.
true.
Yeah, exactly. So let's give a little more background about you. So you are, again, I'm looking at your profile here. 5'7". Is that it? 5'7",
57, 58, somewhere around there.
5'7", 5'8", 5'8". We'll just go 5'8". We always
Yeah,
round up here
with
on
shoes. So,
yeah, right. So you're a 5'8" guard. You're from a 4A school in Washington. So tell me a little bit if you can. Oh, you're also a 3'9" 393 GPA. Is that right?
Yeah.
393 GPA. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about the struggle, maybe about what recruiting was, and kind of if you could like lead into maybe how you maybe stumbled across us and then started working with
Um, we actually started working with College Coaches Connection when Coach John Scott visited our school and did a little seminar on how the company worked and stuff, and like
it.
just recruiting in general.
Right.
And we talked to him afterwards, me and one other girl. I don't think she decided to join and follow through with College Coaches Connection, but we met with him later and we talked about it. And me and my parents really didn't know anything about the recruiting process. And so we were like, I think this was towards the end of my freshman year.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you've been working with us for kind of a long time.
Yeah.
Like most of your high school career then.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I would be curious to know, like, and I know your parents aren't there with you right now, but I'd be curious kind of like what if you remember anyways, those kind of conversations between you and your family about like, is this the route we go? Does this feel right? I don't know. Like, tell me how you ultimately decided was like, okay, I think this is the right thing for us to go to do.
Yeah. Definitely at first it seemed a little weird because it was like, well, like it feels like lots of like bigger companies are like pitching this to like, we can help you
Right.
get recruited, like, well, we can set up this profile for you. But he was really like personable, like
Mhm.
he really like connected with us and talked to us. And I don't know, it just seemed really genuine. And the way we were looking at it, it was, well, if this can at least help some, like we don't
Mhm.
know like anything about this process, how we get it going, like what kind of questions we're supposed to be asking, when
Right.
do we start it, like what are the steps. So, we were like, well, even if it only helps us some, at least
Mhm.
we will be getting some help and we'll at least have an idea. So
Right.
it was kind of that conversation of, do we spend the money for this? Yeah, in the end, it will probably end up paying off because
Right.
we already knew that my academics were good. So I would
Mhm.
ultimately probably get at least somewhat of an academic scholarship wherever I went. So
Right. And that's interesting because I've talked to a few other athletes and I think they started working with Coach Scott kind of more towards the end of their career. So I'm really excited and curious, anxious to talk to you about working. You're the first person I've talked to where you've started working with him kind of towards the more so the beginning of your high school career. So tell me about a little, if you can, or if you want to, as much as you feel like, kind of the mentoring portion of, starting off early and how you feel like that prepared you. We will work with anybody kind of at any point in their career, right? Whether you're a freshman or a senior or whatever. Um, we'll totally work with you. But as a freshman, tell me how you feel like it really, that benefit of having all those extra years of having that mentor, like how that kind of helped.
um so without like be sharing too much about the situation, I really struggled in my high school career, like with coaching and just team environment.
Mhm.
And um, he definitely helped me coach on that personal side of it too, which was really, really helpful because um, I also got like drills and stuff to try to help make me better. But when didn't seem to be paying off with the high school program,
Right.
um, it was definitely helpful to have the personal coaching also, like mental, like the mental side of it instead of just the physical. Here's some basketball drills to do, go
Right.
do them. That's how you'll get recruited, is just by playing.
Mhm.
And he really helped with, like I said, that mental aspect of
Yeah.
keeping your head in the game and things you can do that aren't necessarily basketball skills, but like
Mhm.
cheering on your teammates and
Right.
all of those other things that coaches will see, better body language. Like they can see that even if you're sitting on the bench, like, and then they
It's so
notice that
true.
you're cheering on your teammates, even if you're not going in, and
Right.
just stuff like that. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I appreciate you being open and vulnerable with me, I'm just thinking back to, I'm washed up. I'm a washed up basketball player. My high school career was a long time ago, but I am a basketball player. And so and I didn't have a resource like College Coaches Connections, but just thinking of my own high school career and, everything that happens, whether you're a standout or, not so much, like there's just so much that goes on in between. Right. And I can tell you, I wish I had, well, even if it was just a sounding board of just somebody who from the outside who wasn't in, the middle of it, just to be like, coach, like, I don't know how to deal with, like, tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if am I reading too much into this? Like, my coach said this, like, I can see how just even having and it's not your parents, right? Like, yes, our parents are so important and they're very vital in everything, but it is nice to have that outside person that's kind of validating you. So I can totally see how that would be just nice to have somebody in your corner that's outside of your kind of like small circle. But
yeah, and it's not just like sharing it either. It's also giving you tools to like help you build your mental, like the mental side of it, and like change your attitude and all those things.
Right. So honest, and he's very honest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he doesn't beat around the bush, that's for sure. But anyway, so at the end of every season, we wrapped up your high school career. Oh, we didn't talk about how your team ended up, but I know you guys, as a team, did phenomenal. So go ahead and share that. How did your senior season wrap up?
Yeah, we ended up with placing fourth in state this year. So
that's awesome. That's so cool. And after like a season ends, there's always those like postseason blues. I feel like the first week or two is always kind of like really sad, whether it's like a good sad or a bad sad, right? It's like either, oh, I wish I could have done more, or or you're just like, I'm gonna miss my friends and my teammates. But now that it's been some time, tell me, when you think back to your like youth and your high school career, like when you look back at that, how, like, what do you think? Like, are you sad? Do you feel still like you're in that like postseason blue period, or are you just like, I'm excited for the next step?
I'm honestly just really excited for what's coming next, because like in a sense it's like I get to really choose my team. Like before, like I've been put on the team, like I've been in the high school program, like, but like I got to go choose my coach and my team and like the environment that I'm going to get to be in. And like it's just really exciting to like start something new, because like I said, I've been in the same house my entire life. Like it's just going to be something completely new, completely different, in a completely new place. So I'm really excited to step into something different and gain a whole different experience than what I've had before.
Yeah. And I've talked with several people about this when reflecting it, on our experiences. And it's just like the idea that you can just like almost kind of just recreate, like not reinvent, that's not the right word I'm looking for. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but just like you just get a blank slate. Like you just get to, like you said, you were in the program for a long time, over a decade or whatever, and that's a long time. And people kind of have their biases about who you are as a player, and they think you fit in this role. And now you get to just kind of just say, this is what's up, like, and kind of just create that whole new like identity. That's kind of the word. Like you just get to recreate your identity and who you are and who you want to be, right? Like as a player, as a person. And it's really exciting. So I'm really excited for you. That's for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah. So let's see. So okay, so Coach Scott you worked directly with Coach Scott, and we went through all the mentoring in your high school, and then you get to like kind of the exciting part, right? Where, all right, Sammi, we got your profile, we got your game plan, we got your highlights, we got it all put together. we're sending out your national contacts. Do you remember that day or that morning of or whatever, and like how you were feeling?
Yeah, it was like a complete mix of emotions, like
Yeah.
excited, nervous, like what if they don't even email back? Like,
Yeah.
but it's also like, what if like a bunch of them email back? Like that'd be so exciting. But it's also like really nerve-wracking at the same time of like, I don't even like I've never done this before. Like I have to like reach out and talk to all these people and do it like a bunch. I had to
Yeah.
make sure that they like me. Like,
Mhm.
So it was like it was really exciting, but also again, really nerve-wracking because it was like this is
Yeah.
something totally new that I'm stepping into. And I've never been always super pumped to talk to adults that I have no idea who they are and try to make a good first impression. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I've always been a little bit of an introvert in that way. Like I've
Mhm.
never been super social. Like I'm gonna go talk to anyone that I can. So I was
Right.
like, I really want them to like me, and I don't want to
Mhm.
mess this up on the first call, being like, I don't know what
Yeah.
to say.
Right. Which is kind of part of the whole, like, is part of the mentoring, right? And so can you imagine how you would have felt going into this blindly versus like, even though you were still nervous, like I'm not discounting that at all. Like I would be terrified even having that, but not knowing what to say, how to say it, like what do I even talk about? Like how much more of a different, like how much more scarier that would have been.
Oh yeah, no, like 100 times more terrifying because I at least had some questions to ask.
Right.
I was given some guidelines of like what kind of questions to ask, especially on like the first few calls, like versus like
Mhm.
later. I don't know that I would have known. Me and my parents probably would have tried to come up with some questions. And I would have been
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know. Like, what if
Let's
they
just
just think
Google,
I'm
let's
weird
just
for
Google this
asking
really
them?
quick.
Yeah.
So then tell me, um, how ultimately then, you started talking to coaches. Tell me, do you feel like you kind of got into a group? Do you feel like you felt more comfortable the more you kind of talked and interacted with coaches?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I felt more comfortable after the first few with the rest of the coaches, but especially after the first call with each coach, I definitely felt
Yeah.
more and more comfortable after every single call with the coach because I felt like I had more of a connection with them. And
Hmm.
especially the ones that I was more interested in the college or I felt like I connected better with, I definitely started to feel a lot more comfortable, a lot less nervous before each call.
Yeah.
So
Right. I love talking with each of like with these kids, like you kids. I say you kids, but I just love getting kind of like the insight, like into your brains a little bit, because everybody is so different. Every kid that I've talked to is so different, and their personalities and stuff. And um the last guy that I talked to, he was like, he's very confident. He's like, I have no, yeah, I mean, I wasn't scared to talk to people. And I'm like, I'd be so scared. Like I would need, like, I don't know, somebody to hold my hand through it all. But like if you and I are similar at all, it's like I am most confident, my personality anyways, I am most confident when I am playing or whatever. Like that's where I'm confident. I am not confident behind a phone, behind whatever. Like, oh, like put me on the court. I'm
yeah.
great. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, you can't see what their
right.
facial expressions are. So you don't know like
Mhm.
what they actually think. Like they could be talking super nice and then thinking, ooh, I don't know if I like this
Right.
girl at all.
And you
So
kind of mentioned, yeah, and you kind of mentioned too, like, I just want them to like me. Like, I'm a people pleaser. I'm not gonna lie, I won't beat around the bush there.
yeah.
I want people to like me. And so, yeah, it's just, and I want everybody to like me, regardless of even if we're a good fit or not, I'm a good fit for you. But yeah, so I can imagine. I feel like I relate most to you out of all the kids that I've talked to. I'm like, yes, like
Yeah.
I would be very scared. But so tell me again, like if you can get as personal or not as you feel like, but like what were your fears kind of about being recruited? Was it simply like what if they don't, what if I have nowhere to go at the end of the day? Or what if I don't vibe with any of these coaches? Like tell me a little bit about what was going through your head as far as like your fears.
Well, one thing was that I didn't really want to go super far away from home because,
Okay.
like I said, I've been here my whole life. So I've never like experienced like just going away.
Mhm.
And especially like being far from my parents, like without that same support that I get when I'm here. Um, and most of the colleges that were reaching back out to me were like Pennsylvania. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's really, really far away.
You're
Like
like,
lots of flights, really long
remember,
travel days. Like,
West Coast, East Coast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that was one of those like kind of fears, like what if they only reach out to me like super far away, and like what if maybe I just don't end up playing basketball because I don't really want to go all the way away for that college, or if I don't think that college is a fit. Like,
Right.
and also like what if I don't like any of the coaches back? Like what if they like I just don't think that they seem like a right coaching style for me, or like what if the team environments don't seem good either? Like just all of those kind of nerves about like what if it doesn't end up working out? What if like 20 colleges reach out to me and they're all not I don't feel like they're a good fit. Like,
Right. So then like, I'd love to know, so Coach Scott, all of our mentors have been a coach in some capacity in college, and Coach Scott especially. Um, so how do you feel like having a mentor that had been a college coach, you know, for many years? Like, how do you feel like that like helped you? Was he able to kind of calm your nerves or calm your fears a little bit and like, hey, like it's okay. Like here's what coach or tell me how that was a benefit to you having somebody that, had been through this, on from the coach's side before.
yeah, no, totally. Definitely calmed my nerves a lot because he gave me tips about how they like to interact with the athletes. Like if they are reaching back out to you, it's not out of courtesy. Like they really do just want you on your team, because I'm always the kind of person that overthinks it and is like,
Oh yeah.
well, what if they're just being nice and reaching back out to me? So that way I feel like people want me on their team and stuff.
Right.
But he definitely like that was really encouraging to me, that like if they're reaching back out to you and consistently trying to contact you, they definitely just want you on your team, and it's not just, hey, I'll just be nice and give you a shot.
Right.
And so when I had several colleges reach out to me, it was like that relaxed me a lot, especially going forward. Like, okay, some colleges do actually want me, and it's not something that I have to try to go and make sure that they like me or make sure that they want me. Like if they're talking to me, they want me on their team. So
Yeah. So would you say that that was one of the things that kind of surprised you the most, was like how many schools are actually out there and that there were schools that really wanted you? Or what else
yeah,
maybe was like a big surprise to you about recruiting?
yeah, definitely one of the biggest surprises was that it's just straightforward. Like, because like lots of interactions between people is like not very straightforward or kind of beating around the bush, and like
Right.
I found that really surprising, that it was just like, I'm going to talk to you if I want you, I'm just going to ignore you if I don't want to talk to you. And I don't know, I definitely there's a lot of colleges that I had no idea were out there. Like,
Yeah.
because always as a kid you always see the D1 schools on TV, and that's what you think are the options, like.
Right.
And there's so many more options at like the D3 level and stuff. Just
Yeah.
colleges even in my area that I didn't even know existed. Like I was
Yeah.
like,
And
oh
Washington has a lot. Washington and Oregon, there's a lot of schools there.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that was really surprising too. And like, yeah, I don't know. That was mind blowing
Yeah.
actually, some of it, like seeing all
Right.
the numbers of how many colleges were out there too.
Right. For sure. So when it came to, choosing a school, starting to really think about it, what were the things that were you would say most important to you? And that can be basketball related or academic related or all of the above. What was most important to you?
I definitely wanted something that accommodated the majors that I was thinking about going into, or at least like a range along the lines of what I was thinking of going to. Like I was always thinking of going to pre-med or physical therapy. So I always
Okay.
wanted something that at least was and then there were some other options of things that I thought I might want to do if I didn't want to do physical therapy or pre-med. And then definitely coaching and team environment were big things on my list. Like if none of the coaches were kind or like encouraging or just had like the coaching style that fit me, or like teammates that weren't very nice or it was very cliquey, like if it was like that, I mean, I have my academics, I can go to school for that. That's my main goal for school, is my academics. And if I get to play basketball, great. I love that. But it wasn't necessarily a priority to play
Okay.
basketball somewhere, but I
Mhm.
definitely really wanted to. So definitely first the academics and the majors, and if it was a good school. And I also really liked the idea of a smaller college because you get a more personal connection with professors and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So academics and then coaching and team environment were also pretty big factors.
Sammy, it sounds like you have either your parents did a great job, or I don't know who's to credit for this, but it sounds like you have a great head on your shoulders. You have your priorities right.
Thank you.
So tell me, um, who we'll just go into it. Who did you sign with to play with?
Austin College. Got the merch
Hey,
on.
there it is.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's in a small town called Sherman, Texas, an hour north of Dallas, which I think is poorly named because Austin, Texas, and
Yeah.
it's in Texas, but it's not in
Yeah,
Austin.
that's
So
really true. I actually didn't think about that.
yeah, that's what everyone assumes. And I always have to like add in right after, like, but it's
Right.
not in Austin. They're always like, what? And I'm like, I know.
I'm sure
Don't
you
blame
got
me.
the
It's
full
not my
pitch.
fault. Don't
Like,
look at me like
yeah,
that.
I'm going to Austin College in Texas, not in Austin, in here, an hour north of Dallas. Got it. And
Yeah.
so, okay, awesome. So they're in NCAA Division three,
Yep.
and that's super exciting. So we talked a little bit about like how you were kind of scared to go East Coast and that sort of a thing. But how do you feel about going to Texas?
I don't really know. I've always loved the state of Texas. There's not really a reason why, but I've always loved it. And um, it was actually the first school that reached out to me. And like I actually had like a phone call with, and I did a Zoom call with one of the
Okay.
assistant coaches.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just felt really comfortable talking to them. And it was like, it was the first call, so I was so nervous, but it went really well. And then they were the first school that I visited. And when I got on the campus, I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Like everything was so nice. Like all the campus was really updated and like, yeah. So I got on there and I really loved the campus and I just loved the whole vibe of everything. I actually got to sit in a class and stuff. And
Oh,
yeah, and I just really, and like one kid came up to me and talked to me afterwards. Was like, hey, like I'm so and so, like who are you? Like what? Like talking to me, like where are you from? And I was like, oh, whoa, like I don't even go here. Like, and you're like talking to me and like making friends. And then I actually got to do a scrimmage with the team for an open gym because it was before season.
Mhm.
And like I loved all the people there and the coach, she was so kind and just so encouraging. And I just really felt like it was a fit already. And I was like, but it's the first college I visited. So maybe it's just because
Right?
I'm like excited and like all this stuff. And then I visited a couple other colleges. And I was like, it's nothing like what I felt there. And I was like,
Oh,
that's weird. Like I thought it was just because it was like the first time jitters of like, oh my gosh,
right,
I'm going to college. Like
right.
so yeah, that was pretty awesome. Like to find that fit, like really feel that fit
Yeah.
first. And then I questioned it, but it was like it was nice to know that I really
Mhm.
wanted to go there. So
Yeah. That's so exciting. A Pacific Northwest kid going down south. I'm sure if you don't have cowboy hat and boots yet, I'm sure that's on the list.
I have cowboy boots. So
There you go.
up next is a cowboy hat.
There you go. And that's going to be hard to pack anyway, so might as well just get it while you're down there.
Yeah.
That's us. That's so exciting. So, how did your parents feel about Texas? Do they already have their first know when they're coming to visit, or how do they feel about you? Yeah, going that far away from home.
They're definitely excited for me because not that they want to kick me out necessarily, but you know, they want me to grow up. They want me to be able to be independent and not just be like, oh, I
Yeah,
want to stay home all the time.
yeah,
But my mom especially is definitely a little sad that I'm going so far away
yeah.
'cause she won't get to see me all the time. But
Mm,
you know, with all the technology of FaceTime and Zoom and
right,
all these different video chats, I think it'll be okay because I could call them every day and, you know, talk to them, see them. How's your day? How was your day? Like
right. You
kind
might
of all
see
the usual
them
stuff.
more, or might talk to them more than
Yeah,
if
I mean,
you were
I'm
to
always
stay
busy.
close
They're
by.
always busy, so I don't
Yeah,
even see them all the time here when I'm
right.
here. So it might actually be
Yeah.
more of a connection. So
That's so true. So, how did you celebrate signing in any particular way? Did you have like I've heard one kid had a party, like his friends came over, or did you go out to dinner, or did you do anything fun?
not really.
low
you
key.
know, we took some pictures, some cute little
Yeah.
pictures with us and college stuff.
Yeah.
But
Did your school have like a signing day kind of a
yeah, we
fun
did.
thing? Uh-huh. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I think in my limited research, I think your school wins for the coolest mascot, by the way.
Yeah.
The Roos, the kangaroos.
Yeah, I love the
I
mascot. And fun fact, my elementary school, we were the Dorothy Foxes. So this was the little hand sign, like foxes up being
oh
quiet.
yeah.
And this is the hand sign for the Roos too.
Oh
So
my
from elementary
gosh.
school to college, this is
It
my,
feels like fate.
it does. I
Feels like it was
know.
supposed to happen. This was all meant to be. Your elementary school was just prepping you for college this whole time.
Exactly.
That is so awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited that you're excited. Um, yeah. What is there like what would you say you're most looking forward to about college? Again, basketball or what not basketball related? Like, are you excited to just kind of, I mean, in my head, Camas is a lot different than Texas. So are you excited about a whole new environment? Just like a whole new culture? Like, what do you like can't wait to get into?
This might sound kind of nerdy, but I'm excited for the fact that I'm not gonna have to sit in a classroom for like 6 hours straight. Like the way that high school works, like
Yeah.
the long school day is 5 days a week. I'm
Mhm.
excited for the like hour of lecture and then the break and like
Yeah.
how like ever I schedule it. Like not the long, boring
Yeah.
days that I'm falling asleep in class. Like
Totally.
I'm excited for that. And I'm also obviously really excited for the basketball part of it. Like I've said, like I love the team environment there and the coach. And I'm just excited to like be around a team that's academically motivated and also like working to get in the gym together and just like hanging out, having a whole group of friends. So
Yeah. I'm sure you've heard this from other people and other players and whatnot, but like college is sincerely one of the, I remember when I was in high school and stuff, my dad would tell me, you're gonna meet some of your best friends in college. And I had same thing as you. Like I was in my same house. My parents still live in the same house that I grew up in. And I had stayed, like I was there for all 18 years. Like everybody knew everybody and everybody knew me and everything. And I grew up with the same group of friends from literally like birth to graduation. And I just could not, my dad was like, you're going to have some of the best memories in college. You're going to have some of the best friends in college. And I was like, but I've had these friends like my whole life. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm still great friends with some of my friends in high school or from back home. But it's so true. Like, college is, I don't know, it's like you're there, you're all kind of there for the same thing and you're bonded in that way. And it's just, you kind of almost have more similarities, if that makes sense. And
yeah, totally.
the fact that you get to go to a school and automatically have a group of like 10, 11, 12 girls who are all kind of your friends and you don't have to go out and make new friends, like that's a plus too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've heard it, but yeah, college will be college will be great. So I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
We all are, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So, is there anything else that you can think of? Oh my gosh, I raised my desk. Hold on. Sorry. Don't mind me. My bad.
It's your husband's office.
I
You don't
know.
it's so many
What
random
the
buttons
heck?
and all that
I need
stuff.
to like always like techie buttons and stuff. Let's see. I'm scared to hit something else. Okay. I think that locked it, so that shouldn't. Okay, should be good. Um, is there anything else about recruiting or, high school or college or whatever that you can think of that you're just,
Yeah. The process, like it was pretty stressful in the moment, I guess, but like when I look back on it, it was actually made really easy for me, especially with the college coaches connection, like how to reach out and like how many times you're supposed to call them or like because I thought I would be way too needy if I contacted them like
right,
multiple times after I talked to them like because
right.
like I'm like, I don't want to be too needy. Like, I need to go to college, please, please, please talk to me. Like,
I don't want to come
but
across
it's actually like really
desperate.
good. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I learned that it was like good to like reach out multiple times because it just shows that you want to be there instead
Mhm.
of like you need to be there.
Mhm.
So but it was actually a lot easier like than it may have seemed in the moment. But
Right.
yeah, so I feel like it was made really easy for me in that sense. Like I kind of knew what to do, and like he kind of helped reach out for me instead of me having to try to go find a bunch of different colleges that I might be
Mhm.
interested in. Because without that, I don't think I would have found Austin College. I probably would have just
Right.
kind of looked in the area and been like, hey, like, do you want me at your college? And then
And kind of
um,
settled, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think that's always still like I'm continuously learning about this, even having gone through it myself. I'm continuously learning about recruiting and all of that. And it always amazes me, like, man, how many schools are out there and how many of them need like all kinds of different players, right? And I just, yeah, it's really, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit bitter that I didn't have or didn't know of college coach, but that's okay. I'm moved on. It's a long time ago, but ultimately just really, really happy for you and excited to see what the next few years brings for you at I was gonna say at Austin, but at Austin College in Sherman, Texas.
Yeah.
Get
Thank you.
it right.
Yeah. And I'm excited for what can happen with it too. Like, how I can improve, like how I can grow and just in
Yeah,
many ways, like all aspects of life. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know about, I obviously can't speak to your experience, but that's also kind of where the mentoring, aspect kind of, these things that you went through your 4 years in college with the mentoring, like that's not only going to help you talk to coaches, right? Or talk to your teammates or work on, that's going to also help you be a leader when you're, leading your team or leading a group of nurses or whatever. Like it's giving you that confidence to, also not just talk to a coach, but talk to your boss about like, hey, where's my raise? Or,
Yeah, for sure.
it's just, it's kind of invaluable, some of the things that it, and you don't see it, you might not see it now because you are just in the thick of it, you're a student and your world is kind of smaller right now, but yeah, like hopefully as you do kind of get out there and put yourself out there in different things, like you're like, hey, I that I'm putting it together, like, hey, that I remember when we talked about this and look how it's helping me here now. It's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, very cool, Sammy. If there's nothing else, I have some random, supposed to be fun questions for you, and treat it kind of like rapid fire, right? They're just fun. Try not to think too hard about them, but
I'll do my
and
best.
these are always. I know, overthinker here. I'm an overthinker too, and anytime I get faced with these like questions that are supposed to be fun, I'm just like, but what if this really happens? Like, I can't. I need to think about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get my first question. It's basketball related. You get 20 half court shots. 20. Okay, so the last person I asked, I gave him 25, and I feel like that was like too easy. So we're putting it down to 20. How good are you? Like the player that stays after practice and just like chuck in half court shots to see if you can
No,
get them? No. Okay.
sometimes, every once in a
Okay.
while.
Have you ever hit like a buzzer beater or like anything like that?
I think I have, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay. My question, you get 20 half court shots. If you make one, you get 15 million. Okay, great deal. If you don't make any, you have to spend 15 years in jail. Do you take on the challenge or do you just walk away?
Ooh. I want to say walk away, but then I seem like a wimp.
No, it
I
probably
think I'll
makes it
take it.
just logical.
I'm pretty good at half court shots.
Okay,
So
I
I'm gonna
like it.
take it.
Let's go. And would that change? Would you feel like, would you have less hesitation if I said, okay, you get 25?
No, it would have been the same for
Okay.
me.
I love it. Okay. So yeah, let's take it. I love it. So now next time you're in the gym, you'll have to see how many it takes you and then text me.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
had the,
I
I
will do
had the
that.
last guy, the last ball player that I talked to, it took him like 4. He's like, I did it in 4. And I'm
Yeah, the
like,
other day I did it in like 3. So I was
yeah,
like, well, maybe I'll just take it on. See if I'll try
yeah,
my luck that day. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a
yeah.
good day or bad day.
There you go. I like it. I like it. And I feel like too, like if I miss the first 10, then it's like, okay, pressure, pressure. Like
Yeah, it's
then
like
I start to
game
feel
face.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, what are your favorite pizza toppings?
Okay, I really like this like barbecue chicken pizza. So barbecue sauce for like the base, and then with the cheese, with the chicken, and then maybe some like spinach, and like
Right.
yeah,
I love it.
tomatoes.
So
Yeah, it's
are
really
you
good.
like so pumped for like Texas barbecue?
Yeah, and all
Barbecue.
the steak, it's so cheap there. In
Oh,
Washington, you go to a restaurant and it's like $50 for a normal steak, and you go down there and it's like $20. I'm like,
they're like, we just got it from the pasture out
yeah, like
back.
right out back
Like,
to the restaurant. So
skip the middleman.
yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty
Uh,
pumped for that because I love steak and mashed potatoes. Like, give me that all day. So
love it. I love it. Okay. If basketball didn't exist, what sport do you think you'd be playing instead?
that's tough because I've played other sports, but
Mhm.
I just find them kind of boring compared to basketball.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, probably soccer or volleyball.
Okay.
Those were the ones
Yeah.
I liked the most when I played them.
Hmm.
Or maybe track. Maybe I'd do track. It's not really
I did.
like it's
Yeah.
it's running, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. So what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Honestly, probably just plain vanilla,
Okay.
or because like I'm gluten free, so I can't have like cookie dough anymore. That
Okay.
used to be kind of like my go-to, or like
Mhm.
brownie, but again, can't have that.
Are
So
you like recently gluten free then?
yeah, it's been about a year and a half now. But I love
Okay.
to go to Cold Stone, and they
Uh-huh.
have this like peanut butter cup perfection, and they give you
Mm.
like it's like chocolate with like Reese's peanut butter, and then just like cups, and then peanut butter all mixed together.
Okay.
And it is so good.
Okay. So do you like the vanilla then, plain vanilla then, but you like to like dress it up?
Yeah, so like if I'm not specifically at Cold Stone, I'd probably
Okay.
just go with like vanilla,
Okay.
like maybe some like hot fudge topping or something. But
Okay.
but
Yeah.
other than that, if I can go to Cold Stone, that would be my
That's your
ice cream
pick.
flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the last assignment you turned in?
Ooh, I don't even remember. It was spring break this last week, so I
Oh,
haven't been thinking
yeah,
about school like at all.
that's true.
Um, what was it? I don't even know.
That's
Yeah, I
okay.
kind of blocked school out for the last week,
That's
to be
fine.
honest.
That's fair. That's fair. You get a pass for sure. So we'll say on the topic of, okay, that sounds dumb. On the topic, I was gonna say on the topic of jail, but okay. Let's say you could pick one person that has to hit 2 free throws to bail you out. Okay, say you took on the challenge, you took on my half court challenge, and you will say you lost, and now you're in jail, but now you get to pick one person to bail you out of jail, and they have to hit 2 free throws. Who are you picking? And it can be anybody. It could be a teammate, it could be a coach, it could be a professional athlete. You can pick anybody.
I'm going with Steph Curry.
Obviously, I feel like you'd be dumb if you didn't. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or myself.
Or myself. Can I just
Or
shoot it?
myself.
Yeah, I love it. Confidence. Okay. Do you have a pregame like playlist
I do
that you
not.
kind of how was that?
I don't listen to music before I
You don't listen
really.
to music. Oh,
I
I'm
listen to
talking.
music, but
Okay.
not very regularly. It's mostly like in the car. Like I sing in the car, right? When I'm like
Okay.
driving myself. But I don't really
But
like it doesn't like I don't really have like a hype music playlist or something.
I love that. I wish I was more like that.
And I listen to it when I lift. But that's because
Okay.
like what else would I do when I'm lifting? So
Right. So then what is your like pregame kind of like ritual look like? Are you really good about just getting focused on your own? Or like
yeah, well, like in the locker room, my high school team always like blasted music. So like I
okay,
guess I kind of did, but it wasn't like
okay,
my choice necessarily.
okay.
I don't know. I kind of just, yeah, I kind of just zone in, like kind of like get ready, just kind of
Yeah.
focus in, like,
And I like that. I love that because then it like doesn't like you don't need specific things to happen or
yeah,
specific songs to play in order for you to like you just do it no matter what's going on.
yeah.
So I love that. Okay. So then my very last question is somebody comes up to you and says, Sammy, I know you've been working with College Coaches Connection, but honestly, I'm on the fence. I don't know. What should I do? What would you say to them?
I would definitely tell them that if I don't really know how to word this, like if they really are like looking to play basketball in college, and if they think like that's really their path, but they're not 100% sure, especially if they're not sure about like D1, because like colleges haven't been reaching out to, especially if they haven't been reaching out to them specifically,
Mhm.
and they're having to try to do the reaching out. I would definitely say go for it, because like that was the thing for me, is I thought beforehand that colleges were supposed to be reaching out to me because they wanted
Mhm.
me, not me
Mhm.
going and trying to reach out to colleges that they want me.
Right.
And that was definitely one misconception that I had about the whole recruiting process that was cleared up very quickly once I joined. And also, um, oh, I totally blanked on what I was going to say.
No, you're
But
fine. I think you hit it on the head, like spot on. That was always my assumption. And when I wasn't getting looks and attention or whatever, like I was all state myself and nothing.
yeah,
And I was like, man, am I just not good? Like, am I not as good as not that I thought that I was gonna, I was gonna go D1 or anything like that. I was just like, I mean, I know, like I see this girl going here and this girl going here, and yet like, how come am I thinking like, do I think I'm better than I really am? Or like,
yeah,
what's going on here? Like, I don't think like I'm phenomenal by any means. I don't know. It was just, yeah. And like I said, I didn't have options really. And so I think, yeah, you hit it like spot on. It's just, it's not necessarily that there's no schools for you, no matter, for anybody out there. It's just like coaches are limited. They're limited on their budget. They're limited on their time. Like, think how busy even your high school coach is. Like, they don't
yeah,
really have time to sit and research and find players for their team. Like, you got to go to them.
yeah,
Athletes, you
for
got to
sure.
go to them. You got to find those schools. You got to find those coaches. And that's where we kind of step in and help. And we play that matchmaker a little bit. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So, well, thank you, Sammy. I know we've been kind of trying to nail down the time for this chat, but I sincerely appreciate you being willing to sit down and chat with me. And it was fun to get to know you a little bit, and very excited to see your career as a roo, as a kangaroo.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna start doing this now. Like, this is fun.
Bruise up.
What does they say? Ears up?
Ruse up.
Bruise up, bruise up. Okay, got it. I love it. So, if you want to learn more about College Coaches Connection, if Sammy's story resonates with you, you just want to learn more, interested in talking to one of our mentors, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and we have also a free competition evaluation on our website at collegecoachesconnection.com. If you want a mentor to reach out to you, if you would like to hear more, and again, like, you don't have to say yes right away, you don't have to agree to start working with us right away. If you just want to hear more, you just want to hear the pitch, definitely reach out to us. You can always send us a DM or message, whatever, or email us at coach@collegecoachesconnection.com. I said this in my last interview and I keep forgetting it. I'm like, I need to, like, one of my final questions needs to be like, say College Coaches Connections 5 times fast, whatever, because it can be a mouthful. But yeah, like I said, give us a follow. And again, thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it. So have a wonderful, let's see, it's a Monday. Is it a Monday? It's a Monday night. a wonderful Monday night.
Thank you.